Okay, so we have Einek Extreme now. Exact same team, exact same setup. Only difference is the top row for everyone. We're going to put back their normal pieces. We no longer need to be on common gear since we need to deal more damage to Einek. It's going to look just like that. You can leave the C gear, you can leave the C gear in the middle row for Liz Hawk, and you can leave her outfits off. She still needs to have around 6k defense. 6.2 is fine. HP artifacts, HP food, same shit. Let's go. Alright, so with Extreme, we want to think about how we can transition from phase 1 to phase 2. Easiest way to do that is with somebody's ultimate by around turn 3 is the ideal turn. We want to start by dealing as much damage as we can, so we're going to open with Margaret buff, unlike Hard, where we ended the turn with her buff. Her charge card and Sariel's AoE should deal, or not his AoE, his power strike should deal the most damage, so I would drop those. I plan on transitioning with Bond here, so I'm going to rush Bond's ultimate. If you have somebody that can hit harder than Bond can, maybe your Bond isn't well stacked, maybe he's not 6'6". Try to transition with Sariel if your Sariel is good, or you can try transitioning with Liz Hawk instead. Hopefully whoever you do transition with can at least hit the 200k mission mark with their ult. We also want to make sure that we can stack Margaret's passive up to 5, so we need to buff as many times as we can while saving Ellie Hawk's buff for a future turn to cleanse Sariel. Sariel will no longer patience the AoEs, so we need to make sure that we can get rid of those corrosions, so we're going to hold that. Drop any extra attack cards you can without getting someone else's ultimate, and transition with your character of choice. Going to be the last turn that we can use Margaret buff, so if you have one, I would get rid of that now. We also don't want to break the shield here, so using Sariel AoEs are the weakest cards. We also would just reset if Einek does not have at least 2 debuffs. 3 is ideal, but the run is dead if it's just going to be 1. Get a lucky gold bond merge here for his buff, that is ideal. If not, you can settle for silver as long as Margaret has enough stacks and Liz Hawk has about 5 to 6 debuffs. This turn, again, we want to make sure that we don't break the shield. This way we can get the ultimate seal debuff that Einek will apply. And Einek, again, has an extra debuff here. Ideally, he should have 2, but he doesn't, so whatever. Just take what we can get. Now is the time to use that single Ellie Hawk card to cleanse off Sariel's corrosion, as we don't want him taking that unnecessary damage. And also, make sure you can get your Bond's ultimate here. This is the turn to finish off. If you do have extra ultimates, I would drop those if you can afford to, as they are worth a decent amount of points. Since Sariel's on an HP set, we know we can drop him. Margaret's going to be fully stacked at 5 after we Bond buff, and Ellie Hawk has about 5 debuffs here. So this should be a pretty decent score. I would say 7.7k is probably ideal. Maybe 7.8 is, or 7.8k is max right now. I'm not 100% sure. I would say at least 7k you would want to shoot for if you have a decent bond. But we got 7.2, so that's good enough for me. There we go.